Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, it happened. I know that I know. Here I go. Here go the blessing. Don't got a body with no body. That's perfection. No reflections. This a trip.
Okay, so let me see. All right, now, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Cream Rises. We've been prepping y'all for the real thing. You know, trying to kind of little preschool, pre-game, pre-season work with our previous podcasts, which are awesome, and you can reference those too. But we want to touch on something today that has been in the forefront, something that has been happening before my eyes for years. I thought it was a cultural thing, and that is horse abuse. You know, and how can we stop it? And where does that really come from? So first of all, I want to say what's up to the consciousness consultant. How you doing over there, bro?
I'm good, G. Look, I'm good. It's all good over here.
Yeah,
Beautiful day. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm G Look, and this is Cream Rises. First of all, would like to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and pass that along. Share this. If you care about the animals, share this. If you care about how does that relate, what makes a motherfucker want to just get a shovel and just start beating the fuck out of an animal, you know, go ahead and share that. And we're gonna get to the solution part of it, but we need to dig into the why we do abusive behavior towards animals. So anyway, just want to thank all of our sponsors and thank all, everybody involved. We'll give you all of the clicks to get the hats. I know you guys have been asking about how to get the hats, so that you'll see that pop on the stage. That's a link at www.that'sagoodlook.today, and go there and you can go ahead and order the hats, any colors. If you're a guest on the show, we'll give you that. Get in chat, hop into the chat, and give us your feedback. And we just really appreciate you guys. So, G. I can't help but call consciousness G because that's his real name, but he's the consciousness consultant, to you motherfuckers, right?
I
So,
like you. Go by both.
yeah, So anyway, I was walking down the stables in a certain section of LA. I'm not going to say it. Culturally rich. And I thought I heard something. And I backed my truck up because I had the windows down because I was looking to get some, feed as high as hell. And I saw a man abusing a horse. The horse didn't want to come out of the stall and do what he said, and the abusive manner in which he was treating. And I'm a black man. I mean, not just yelling at him, but he had a small little shovel handle, and he was hitting the horse. So at that moment, I didn't know to intervene. I'm not gonna get shot fucking around with somebody with him and his horse. I made a lot of noise and blew the horn and acted like I was asking for directions, and so I approached him. He had some dogs too that was scared. So the horse, it was like telepathy. The horse was like sending me signals like, please get me away from this motherfucker. Could you please help? That's what the horse was saying to me through mental telepathy, right? And my spirit was broken and torn because that was another black man, with horses. But I saw every movement that he made. The horse was, recoiling, acting scared, and everything. And it just touched my heart. So what we're going to do, we have a lot of organizations that are into animal cruelty reform. They adopt animals. They report cruelty and things like that. I'm by no means the police where I'm going to go start telling a bunch of motherfuckers about telling. But I think if we can get into the preventative measures, that would be our role in it. So on a consciousness level, what is it in a person's crawl, their psyche, their spirit, that makes them lash out at dogs, horses, or pets?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, man, this topic is something that's very, very needed to talk about and divulge in. I feel like, it's unchecked emotion and unchecked feelings that haven't really been properly and healthily observed and dealt with. And so when that happens, when you're in a stressful situation, or when something feel like it's not going your way, your natural inclination in the human experience is to put that pain or that confusion on the thing around you, whether it's a pet or a partner, or a spouse, or a kid around you. So it stems from unchecked emotion, unchecked um, feelings and traumas like that happened in life when you was younger, or just in your life current, that you haven't properly, healthily, like transitioned through and went through and addressed in your life.
Right.
And so when that happens, those things kind of compile up into a deep place within us. And as we live in our life, the things around us sometimes will get the brunt of that, because so much energy and emotion are coming through a stimulus, and you don't know how to handle it because you never really looked at it in a healthy way.
Yeah, but I'm
So I
just
feel like
saying,
that's the
what
primary
what
reason.
what if it's a an actual behavior that happens all the time? I'm sure you motherfuckers that beat animals didn't just do it the day I saw them doing it. I'm sure they've been beat. I'm sure something in them think it's okay to beat animals. You know what I'm saying? From a
Yeah.
young age, or someone that mentored them. You know, I'm often
Hmm.
criticized because I do not take riding lessons from just abusive people, whether they're in my race or not. I don't just treat the horse. I treat the horse like rich white people treat their horses. So sometimes I'm kind of shunned upon.
Hmm.
He's not a pet, but he's
Hmm.
definitely an animal of servitude to me, and I love the animal. So I'm gonna bathe him. I'm gonna redirect him the proper
Hmm.
way. I'm not gonna get no rocks and no shit and throw it at him and shit like that. And unfortunately, in our culture, you know, this is something that like I said, it ain't really about the horses. As we will see later in this 3-part series, this is something about the psyche of how you lash out
Right.
against anything, right?
Right, right. So I said the deeper part, the first thing, but just to comment on what you're saying, 'cause I think you kind of opening up another thing, which is beautiful, because there is multiple viewpoints on why this happens. But I think too, like you said, you just hit on something that I think needs to be shared too. Um, it's a relationship, man. Like you said, I feel like the economic ownership of things kind of bleeds into the understanding of that it's a relationship with that horse, right? Like you said, it's your you purchased it to relate to it. So I feel like people's relationships, if they've had traumatic relationships in they past, or growing up, or with their parents young, or with their siblings, or anything in life, all a relationship is going to have a little bit of violence, or they're going to feel like
Trauma.
that's the way that you handle things, because yeah, and trauma, because that's what they trauma based, and that they haven't healthily, like I said, overcome it, or went through it, or saw for what it is. So anything from an animal to a kid or a friend around you may get, if you're in that space, may get your violence, and get your, all that energy that comes through there. So I feel like that viewpoint is something for the ones that you said that feel like, you feel like some people feel like it's actually okay, like that's what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
because that's how they was treated, probably. You know what I mean? They was treated like that, and they don't know nothing different, and anything different they haven't really went through, yet, or seen it, or transcended their own demons or traumas. So they like, what, this is how it's supposed to be, and they own that. And I think there's some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that don't really feel like that, and they just don't know how to handle it. They really don't feel like it's right, but they just like, that's all I know. So I think there's a couple groups of people that do that.
Well,
I don't know what you think about that, but that's how I feel.
no, I know men that just put their dicks in their woman and just pound on them and leave. Yeah, I know niggas that make love to their women. So, if we talking about the diaspora, or whatever you want to call it, of motherfuckers, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I mean, whether you're a Mexican making that horse dance, and then when motherfuckers check you out and see how you really make him dance, or you that
Hmm.
nigga that just, if that horse act like he want to be a horse one day and you start throwing left hooks on his ass, you so much smaller than the horse. The dog want to be free. You tend to be an aggressive person, got an aggressive animal. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so when he does what he do, and you throw that left hook on him, or you call him all kind of names, or he feel your energy and shit, that is one thing. Being in rodeos is one thing. I love rodeos. So I'm not all the way on that side of the fence with having rodeo animals as abuse. I'm not on that side of the fence because I seen bulls, nigga, ordering Chardonnay and shit for dinner and shit in air conditioned. You know, those motherfucking contractors treat them animals great. You know what I'm saying? And so when they stop, all they do is fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like, and they eat.
Yeah.
You know, and they go on
Yeah.
stage. You know, just like we do. We go in traffic, we perform, then we come back home. That's
Yeah.
what they do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about abuse. I'm talking about something where the horse is confused on what he should do or what might happen at any time from this little ass motherfucker that's coming up with that attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the things they do, the water squirting, throwing rocks at them when they're lunging them. Uh,
Damn.
just shit. I done seen some very abusive
Fuck.
shit to animals that make me almost say, you know, like I can't fuck with you, you know. And
Right.
so this may be a controversial a show for the G Look family, for Cream Rises, for all of us. I just want everybody to know we on the side of the fence of total peace and bliss with not just horses, but pieces with our own self. But it's just particularly disturbing to see a horse be abused. Yeah, with the ribs in, because
Yeah.
the motherfucker didn't pay his rent and he ain't got the job and shit, so his horse is skinny. I done been at functions where people done walked up to to us and asked us was the horse malnutrition, and they called animal services, and the horse was fine as far as the niggas was concerned, but it wasn't fine as far as outside looking in, you know. Some of
Right.
it's cultural,
Right.
but yeah, animal abuse. So hey, you guys, first of all, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go ahead and chime in if you have any viewpoint on this and you want to chime in to me and consciousness about that. Let it be known then what you feel and how you think we should get down with that. But it is an open-ended question, but it ain't really, because consciousness, I'm just saying the root of a person that could literally throw cold water on a horse or whoop his ass because he just having a day. What? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I it's just, I think it's that spirit too. When you doing something like I understand when we dealing with certain animals and certain things that they might understand a certain amount of force. I get to a degree, but if it's in that spirit of just abuse or just rage or anger, then to me that's abuse. Like I said, making sure a big ass 1,500-pound animal got to get in that gate, so you might pull a little bit harder, or you might need to tap them a little. There's things you need to do with certain animals. I get that, but
Right.
but the difference by that spirit that is coming from you unloading your shit, your rage, your hatred, your trauma that happened to you when you was 8 on that horse. That's fucked up.
When you was 8, you got your motherfucking uncle put his thumb in your ass and said, "You better not say shit." And now you
Right,
taking this
right.
shit
So
out
now-
on that motherfucking horse. Let's be
You
real.
know,
We ain't gonna have no
you know.
elephants in the room around this motherfucker. It ain't just because these motherfuckers is mean. Because mean motherfuckers love horses and love people. They don't always lash. Trauma-filled
Right,
motherfuckers do
right.
that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how niggas was treated. If you don't get out there and pick the goddamn cotton, or if I catch you trying to
Right.
escape, I'm gonna beat your ass. Matter of fact, I might just beat your ass to show the other big niggas, the big niggas that could beat me up. I'm gonna show them what's gonna happen. We'll just beat your ass. Sometimes motherfuckers just do that
Right.
to their dogs, their horses, their animals, just to send a message like, I know I'm littler than you, but this is something that could happen to you. You know.
Right. Yeah, it's an animalistic thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I know
I
you're dealing
like
with an
it.
animal.
I hate it. I
And
hate
so,
it.
like I said, but it's funny you said that. I was just watching a movie the other day, that Will Smith movie called Emancipation. I think it's called Emancipation.
Yeah.
Well, he got a little slave movie that they made.
Oh yeah. A lot of our cowboys was in that.
Antoine Fuqua made it.
Right.
Yeah, but it was interesting because back to your point, just stemming from just the animalistic aspect of being a human, you know what I mean, and dealing with animals. There needs to be, like I said, it's where it's coming from. And if we don't overcome like our traumas and we don't address our pain like thresholds and stuff that we've had when we were younger in our developmental years, or our disappointments about life that we just harbor in ourselves and we can't wait to unload it on somebody. Like when you're in those states, yeah, that's not healthy for nothing around you. You know what I mean? Because you're not
Right.
doing nothing in a true loving spirit. It's from pain. And I feel like a lot of times people feel like they don't have time to really address that because it is a sort of quote unquote work, inner work, and you feel like you got life going on. And it's been a negation to culturally for a lot of people, for Black, culture, but everybody in general. It's a humanitarian thing. But like, we talking about specific pockets of people. It's been a negation. This mental health, spiritual health, how they go hand in hand. Your
Right.
spirituality and your mental and emotional
You
health.
being
You
nice,
know,
consciousness. You being nice. I told you I'm gonna check you every time on this podcast. Everybody watching, when consciousness try to give you motherfuckers a pass, nigga, I seen horses drop their dick because mare horses was around, and niggas beat their ass to make them pull their dick up. Right?
yeah, it's like that's what they supposed to do.
They naturally are insatiated by the female horse, and they dick drop and then next week you want him to drop because you breeding him. You sending that horse a
Right,
mixed
right.
message. You a black ass nigga with a stick. Hey, put that dick up. Tapping that horse on the ass, making him feel like being a natural horse when your motherfucking sheep drop because you here to breed because that's how your species survive. You know what I'm saying? I done seen cruelty, bro. That's dysfunctional
Yeah,
behavior because that same motherfucker that did it is a regular person. He don't even think that
right.
shit's nothing wrong with that. He just think he's in control. Excuse me for sweating, you guys. It's just hot studio lights in here. But I'm just saying, bro, I understand what you're saying. We can trace that
Yeah,
back, but I think that's learned behavior, and I think it's something that they were taught that they think that's okay. Like everybody ain't traumatized
yeah,
that do that. You know what I'm saying? I think
right,
within the horse community, if
right.
you're not taught properly, you think that's right to do that shit because you might
Well,
be conflicted while you're doing that.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's a trauma too. That's what I'm saying. We got to address all of that.
Right.
Like I'm
Yeah.
not saying that you got to have a certain amount of events happen in your life to where that mean that why you did that. Some people we absorbing from each other. It's a network, and that's
Right.
why we do have to have these things and understand. Like that's why with me, people around me for a long, you got to really be because I'm always questioning.
Your
Not even in
motive.
in that way, but like why? Yeah, why,
What
man?
the
Why
fuck?
what's going on? Where it's coming from? Yeah, what are you trying to do? Like, what's your intent? Like, you know what I mean? Are you trying to like, are we setting this table up so you could break this table, or you just
Yeah.
want to like you want to eat on it, or
Yeah.
you
Oh,
you
that's
want
a
to
good
stand on the
analogy.
table? What are
Yeah.
we doing? So
No, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell
and
you this,
so
G. I'm gonna tell you this,
this.
G. Because we have that's why it's a
Mm,
3-part series. I'm not talking about the
mm,
girl in Woodland Hills that got a lot of pets that love her pets and feed them the top food and want to save the whales and the environment. I'm not talking about that motherfucker. I'm talking about
right.
these niggas that we fuck with, and I'm talking about the regular. And when I say that, I don't even mean black. I'm talking about regular people. Cause we give barrel races, so we deal with people that love their horses. So I ain't talking about our barrel race people that follow us. I'm really talking
Yeah.
about like niggas for real that abuse horses because I am a black
Right.
man in a white world. I'm a barrel race promoter. So I am the
Hmm.
face of you niggas. Right? And so I
Right.
gotta disassociate myself with people that abuse the horses. And not all black people do that. So let's put that out there. But
Right.
disproportionately because we was beaten, we beat our kids. We have a different way we look at animals and people. We beat up other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If we don't, because we don't think we have we don't have a
Well,
bank, a resource, a spiritual connect. We don't have
well,
nothing else that we can hold as leverage. So we beat on every goddamn thing.
Well, I'm gonna jump in on that right there too, because violence is not always physical. I feel like a lot of things and is that, like you said, that's done from that is violent. Like a lot of things, people going, violence is it's not always just even physical violence. So like back to your point is, I think a lot of motivation that people have when they doing stuff ain't really from love. It's a conquering domination or I could prove to you this, or I like it's a violent thing anyway, even if it's not even physically
Oh
violent.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a violent nature to it. So you're right, you
yeah.
know, and that's to address that. I think that kind of goes back to the point that we talking about too. What comes through when the animals are getting abused, like you said, or we hit each other, fighting each other, or even violence, like you know,
Our
everything we
tone.
do, even in the work, like people are. Yeah, everything is
Hmm.
you. Somebody got a company over here, you got a company over here. You got violence with them, unseen, hidden violence. Like it's like this Cold War shit going on between, and so I feel like that energy, um, between the traumas and the young misunderstandings when you developing between the environment that you dropped into, trying to make something of yourself and find out what you are in a environment that seems dog eat dog or sharky. I think it produces this illusion that people have an energy or spirit they push out they don't need to do, and I think that transitions into the animals, the kids, person to person, on your own peers, and then also just even entity to entity or whatever it may be. You know what
That's
I
good
mean?
shit. And
And
first of all, that's good shit. And let me just tell everybody, hit the like, subscribe. That Cash App's right there if you want to support us, because we're going to support people that are against that. But this helps us to put this word out so you can know what we're about. And let
yeah,
me just tell you, if I see a motherfucker hitting a horse, if he ain't too much bigger than me, a gangster, I'm going to say some shit. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't, I might go call on him because now I love horses, nigga. And so I'm just saying, our company, G Look, Cream Rises, Gray Area Fashions, the motherfucking Truck Corral, All Hooves In, anybody under our umbrella, we are not for horse abuse. And
right.
we don't care if you need to vet yourself before you get an animal that you feel like if that motherfucker step on your toe, you're gonna start hitting him like 3 left hooks. Or you're gonna have a shovel or you have some shit around to abuse a horse. Just because we black and we come up in that culture, and I was taught that way, but fortunately I had parents that didn't beat my ass. I didn't beat my kids' ass. I was surrounded by
Right.
motherfuckers that do that. I felt like the potential to get your ass beat should be always on lurking so that you can have authority in a position of authority. If a motherfucker gonna push back, an adolescent kid, a goddamn big ass horse, of course you gotta let a motherfucker know I'm gonna win in the end. But
Right.
if you love your red nosed pit, your horse, your teenage son that whatever, or your son-in-law or your homeboy, you cannot say you love them and say that you can control the narrative of the relationship by beating their ass or scaring them and shit like that. That's a mixed message, motherfucker. So that's the best way we can say it over on our camp. We're going to unpack it
Yeah.
because this is a 3-part series where G is the consciousness consultant is going to tell you that everything you do is really all going to come back to the same shit of yourself,
Yeah.
of your motherfucking shit trying to be something in this motherfucker. So I know where he going to go with it. Whether you whether you bathe bitches or whether you help your neighborhood or you beat a horse or you ride a low rider, all this shit is some shit for your shit to cope while you here. So I know where he gonna go with it. I'm just saying in the meantime, we can't be parading down in LA talking about keep the rodeos in LA when I know half the motherfuckers there abuse their horses. Right? And I'm gonna
Right.
step out and
Right.
say that shit,
Yeah.
because I will take the
Yeah.
blunt of that, and I know the people that love their horses. You fall in love with these horses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This horse
Yeah.
is like one of your best friends. A motherfucker feel you when you sad. Sometimes I sleep in my stall, bro.
Yeah.
I sleep in my motherfucking wet
Yeah.
ass stall out of my plush ass house because I can feel the energy of the horse. And I know a lot of
Right.
cowboys that do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Yeah.
first of all, lift up Compton Cowboys, Urban Saddles. A lot of people I know, they love their horses. So I'm not talking
Right.
about, the people at the forefront with the cameras on them. I'm talking about them hitting motherfuckers.
Right. 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 Right.
You get in the parade, now the horse acting a fool, and you wonder why. You know what I'm saying? A balloon went over their head, and the motherfucker is acting a fool because he's scared. And so
Yeah.
if you put
Yeah.
him in a compromised position, a dog, a human, a kid, hey, Dad, I want to tell you something. And the motherfucker's scared to tell you something because you done fucking left hooked him every time that motherfucker do something wrong. You know, he want to tell you I'm gay, or he want to tell you I found some money. What should I do with it? He can't tell it to you, you know, because that left hook, right? So conscious, I'm gonna bring it back to you now. What, without being nice to these motherfuckers, because we're gonna cut this one short and we're gonna go to the second one. Why do motherfuckers do that? And how can they stop? Stop playing with them, though. Because everybody don't do it.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. So, like I said, you gotta reevaluate your real why. You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like I say, I'm always gonna come from the spiritual aspect. I'm a spiritualist. You know, I come from the Stoic aspect, and I feel like everything is spiritual first and foremost. And I just feel like when people are doing it, they got unresolved issues in themselves. They got unresolved pain and trauma and in themselves, and it's just being unloaded on certain things. And I feel like people are using certain things in their life as an outlet for it because they don't know no other healthy way to do it, or they're not ready for no healthy way to do it yet. So they're using animals or their kids or being violent with their cars or having anything they do. Everything they do is violent because or have some kind of pressure to it like that because there's undealt with emotions and pain and trauma and situations and stuff within them. And so that's what we need to do with this. That we got to be healthy, because if we stay on the surface, then people start feeling they want to protect themselves and they want to get defensive because it gets like turned into an ego thing, like somebody saying they better than somebody. But I need people to understand that. I want people to understand that this is a deep thing. This is a part of your human experience, which is actually the most important part of your human experience when connecting with God, is unloading the things in your life that's heavy for you, that's causing you to feel like you have to posture up and be something or do something that's not really in alignment with you in a healthy way. And you might feel like you're in so deep and you got so much identities with it and so many people around you that need to see you somewhere that you presented these masks so much that you can't do that, but you can. And I just want to put that out there too, because people got to feel safe and loved. I told my boy the other day, he said, he's from Long Beach and he's kind of like a hood nigga. And he's like, man, I just had to tell somebody walked up to us and he was kind of a little bit, out of balance and stuff like that. And, I end up, my boy didn't shake his hand, but I ended up shaking his hand anyway. And he said, hey, G, man, these niggas got to put these niggas in check. They got to know, they got to be in line with this. These niggas out of balance. Right. And I said, but how you going to check him if he don't know that you love him? Right. How you going to check somebody that don't know that you actually care about them? Right. So when I'm talking to people, I want them to know that they got to feel safe so they can know how to transcend. Otherwise, they're not going to understand the point of why they need to stop doing that type of thing or what that's really coming from. So I want people to understand that I get it, where it's coming from. It's coming from pain and a lot of shit that happened in your childhood that you had to own because you had to feel like you had to be strong. And this world shows you got to be strong. So you got this big ass super ego and conquering mind and dominate that's fueled by pain and a lot of different things. And when things don't go your way, you unload on something. And that may be your animal, or that may be your child or your girl or somebody in the street or your car or somebody at the job or just even your business.
In episode 1, we're going to keep it on these horses because I know where you're going to go. We're going to go there too. Because, niggas unload on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
but
Bill
the animals
say,
though.
Nigga, Bill Burr, nigga, you didn't boil the water right, nigga, and just start. You can make an excuse to unload on anything, but I'm just saying because of a percentage of our followers are horse people, and I think that's an immediate thing to where the horse needs our help and can't speak for themselves and can't go get a lawyer or go hide at their mama-in-law's house. They got to take that shit. So if you have an abusive owner, when everybody ain't looking, you still got that motherfucker. It's traumatic. Yeah. So now the horse going to act in a certain kind of way because, like, okay, at some point he going to realize he a horse. He might kick your ass. He might cower down and not be the animal it is, but it's just very sad to see an abused, underfed, beaten, shocked, unnatural behavior, making him do some shit that he don't naturally do. Or pull his dick up or dance in front of motherfuckers. He's a horse. God damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that. You know, you want to be a parade and your horse just mounting motherfuckers, and you don't want, and it looks good when the sombreros and the brothers dance on their horses and shit. If the horse love you and you love him back, that's cool. I'm talking
Yeah.
about that motherfucker that reaches down and get them 3 rocks when he don't lunge like you supposed to. Start throwing rocks and putting cold water on him and just abusing that motherfucker, you know. So look, G, we're gonna keep it here because this is a 3-part series. I just wanted to touch on it. And the way this is gonna be presented, you're gonna love it. So you guys, again, like, subscribe, give us your comments, give us your input on how you feel about horse abuse, animal abuse, or abuse in any nature. And we're gonna unpack it and go a little bit deeper as to why people even do things like that to their goddamn self sometime. You know, abusive behavior. These motherfuckers that, you know, do all kind of shit to themselves. You know, so you know, again, man. So I was gonna cut it short, consciousness, and because I want them to taste that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With the images we've been putting up that they've been seeing while we doing this, just so they can know what we on right now. You know, so y'all stay tuned for part 2. This will probably pop on Wednesday or something, but part 2, and then we'll just keep it rolling. So, consciousness, appreciate your time, bro. And
it's all good. It's
your
good.
input,
Good
and you know, stop being nice to these motherfuckers. You know, stop it.
I can't,
Nigga,
I'm nice. I can't help it.
I don't give a fuck if your auntie.
I try to be mean. I've tried to be mean for about a few years of my life. I tried to be mean. I couldn't hold. I can't. I'm not. I'm nice.
Hey, you was a mean cornerback, bro. People don't know about consciousness. He's a D1 level, you know, played at BYU. Andy Reid wanted to come to Philadelphia Eagles. Motherfucker is a boxer, trained with. I mean, he could be mean, but his spirit is so bliss. And you know, he's an example. So anyway, that's the qualifications for him. And if you want to look him up, check out his IG. Go ahead and DM him. I'm gonna put that up there. If you want to have a one-on-one session with him, it's all good. And we'll be back again. Again, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Cream Rises. And it's about to rise for real, because right now we on this animal abuse tip, and that's going to be a 3-part series. So once again, thank you. Appreciate you guys. And, you know, just try to connect with God. That's all we can say. And try to just live a life where you don't come back to this motherfucker when you die. Thank you, consciousness.
All right, G. Look, I'll let you.
All right.